Welcome back to the kitchen. Where else would you find Chef Bob, right? First of all, this is another video request. A guy said, hey, I got a lot of bread laying around. I need something to do with it. I saw your French toast post the other day on Facebook. What else could I make? And I said, well, this is a great recipe that I have not made in a while, and it's something that I'm looking forward to. It's called bread pudding, and it's a dessert that you bake in the oven using bread. It's real simple, totally easy. I would suggest first that you're going to need like a 6x6 pan or a 9x9 pan, whatever you would prefer. I'm using a 6x6 because I'm going to use a lower calorie recipe, especially for those that may be cutting. You can always add more if you need to. So right to the point, let's get what you need. First and foremost is bread. So I just buy my local Wegmans brand. I bought a light wheat bread, a little bit lower calorie alternative. You can use like the Sara Lee bread, 45 calorie bread, or regular bread. It just totally depends on your caloric allotment and what you want to spend it on. So what I'm going to do is take 6 pieces, and I've already ripped up 4 of them in this bowl, and I'm just going to rip these 2 together just to show you what I did. Just take little chunks out and rip them up and put them in a separate bowl. That's all you really got to do. If you got bread laying around, you need to get rid of it. This is a good recipe to use. Something that's super simple, like I said, and it doesn't require a lot of time or prep. So our bread's all ripped up. Dry ingredient wise, 1 scoop of the Core Performance Whey, about 34 grams worth, 35, whatever you want to use, even if it's 1 gram over, no big sweat. 8 grams of the sugar-free, fat-free Jello pudding mix. Again, this is optional, but it does help with the final product, moisture and texture. A little bit of baking powder to help with the final product and rising while in the oven. Splenda to help sweeten it. I used about 6 grams worth. And it's going to be about like 1/8 of a cup. Not much, just enough to give it a little bit more of a pack a punch. Dry ingredients, all in a mixing bowl. Okay? Bread, all done. Let's look at the wet. What I'm going to use today, I have 1 cup of almond milk, which I have in a magic bullet. And again, that's what I use. You can pick it up at any real grocery store. What else am I going to add? A dash of vanilla extract. And last but not least, 2 egg whites. Now if you want to use whole eggs, by all means. If you want a higher fat calorie recipe, great. This is just a lower calorie way to help with the final product. So mix my egg whites right in there like so. Now what I'm going to do is just blend up this shake in a magic bullet. You can use any blender you would wish, or you can just stir it right into the dry. I like to use a magic bullet. It helps mix things a little bit easier. Only going to need a couple seconds just to mix it up. So with that said, I have my oven preheating to 350. That's going to take a little bit, so make sure you do that first. Now I'm just going to take the rest of my wet, put it on my dry like so. And it's going to be very runny. That's how bread pudding is supposed to be. So if you want to just take a spoon and mix this up, that's exactly what I would do or suggest. And it shouldn't take you long, especially because the Core Performance Whey is a little bit on the lighter side, and it mixes super easy, making it a very versatile protein powder as far as cooking goes. And you can see I do a lot of that as far as my YouTube channel goes. Okay, so it shouldn't take long to mix because it is very thin. Okay, so with that said, leave that right there. Take our cooking pan, cooking spray, and just coat it down. Okay, shouldn't take much, like so. Then what we do, we take our bread that we shredded up, and you just layer it at the bottom. Take it in, throw it all in there. Okay. And then all you got to do is just even it out. Okay. Make sure the whole bottom is covered. You don't really need pieces to overlap each other. Just make sure everything is covered. That way when you drop in your wet here, it's super simple. Okay. So as you can see, the whole thing is covered on the bottom, and I'm just going to press it down with my hand. And then we're going to take what we mixed just a second ago here. Give it one last little stir, won't hurt. Mix everything up. Pour it right on top. I'll do this over here so you can see it a little bit better. Alright? So let's pour it right on top. And man, just pouring it, you can see all them chocolate chip cookie dough pieces just from the batter. Alright, great. So get anything else you need to out of there. Last step before we throw it in the oven is you want to press it down with a spoon, or you can use a spatula, okay? Make sure that bread gets soaked underneath your mixture here. Alright, and you're going to notice that the residue from the wet kind of binds itself into the corners. So make sure you even everything out. And everything should be very close to submerged or in the liquid residue. Alrighty. So you can see everything's just about submerged. And I'm just going to press down the rest. And what I'm going to do is toss this in the oven for about 35 to 40 minutes. It does take a little bit longer to cook, but it's okay. So, you know, if you got other chores you got to do while this is in the oven, highly suggest getting it done. Okay? So in the oven, 35-40 minutes. We'll pull it out when it's done. 35 to 40 minutes on the dot, guys. And this came out fabulous. I'm going to hold this up with a towel because it is still very hot. But as you can see, it rose up quite a bit. Starting to get a little bit golden brown on top. And it is a little bit firm on the top, but still very moist on the inside. Now, what you do with bread pudding is you don't eat it right away. What you want to do is let it sit for a bit, put it in the fridge for a good 4 to 6 hours. And with doing that, what happens is everything binds together and becomes more of a thicker substance. So that way you can cut out slices, or you can eat the whole thing as is. I think it comes out to around 530 calories, 50 grams of protein, 70 grams of carbs, and 6 grams of fat for your entire 6x6 bread pudding recipe here. So if you guys enjoy the recipe, give it a like below. Check out the directions, macronutrients, and instructions, which are in the box below as well, with the whole write-up on all the directions that we use to make the bread pudding. If you want to, you can check out the new Cellucor apparel for the G4 series, which is right here on me right now. There's only 150 of these made. Core Performance Protein, any of your other Core Performance Whey supplements, Cellucor.com in the comment box below. Bkup20, BKUP20. When you check out, saves you 25% on all of your orders and free shipping inside the U.S. Also, guys, big shout out to Corey Reps, my man up at the New York City manager's office, for shipping me one of these shirts. You the man, Corey.